An opportunity for members of the public to address the Board of Directors on any subject matter that is not on the meeting agenda and is within the board's subject matter jurisdiction. Public comment periods are limited to 3 minutes per person, and the total amount of time for public comment is 15 minutes. Persons participating by way of a video conference or teleconference shall ensure their audio is muted at all times, except when the board chair announces public comment periods. At those designated times, members of the public wishing to speak shall enable their audio and state their name for the record. When multiple members of the public wish to speak, the clerk will determine the order of speakers and announce their names accordingly. To ensure proper conduct, the board reserves the right to mute the audio and video of any member of the public violating generally accepted principles and decorum of official public meetings.
Any public comment out there? I see none, and there's none online. Okay, and we'll move to the consent agenda, and we will be moving item 2 on the consent agenda to a discussion item, so we just need to approve minutes. Is there any public comment on that?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and second. Do we need to do a roll call vote? Yes.
Director Bishop,
Yes.
Director Bradford,
Yes.
Director Vasquez,
Yes.
Director Fuhrer,
Yes.
Director Messick,
Yes.
Director House,
Yes.
Director Matthews.
Yes.
Thank you. So item 2, we have a board member that wanted to have a discussion on this. Maybe Andrew or Willie, one of you could just tell us what it is, and then we'll have questions.
This board declared an emergency after the penstock incident. Primarily allows us emergency contracting authority to get through the immediate response to the penstock incident. And at this point in time, being 4 months past the incident, it still allows us to take advantage of that emergency contracting authority. For example, we just put out to bid the hill slope stabilization bid package on July 1st. When we receive the bids back, we can contract under the emergency contracting authority. It's still a justified emergency. We are getting recommendations and requirements primarily from resource agencies. In this instance, in this specific example, to stabilize the hill slope, somewhere around 80 acres of disturbed soil upstream of Colgate Powerhouse between the penstock rupture and the powerhouse, to prevent long-term erosion this coming winter. There are perch soils. The resource agencies and our engineering professionals are advising that if those soils saturated, even during a moderate average winter, we could see soil movement down the hill that would cause further damage and or personnel injury. So that's one example of the continued emergency, although not immediate, like the oil spill cleanup you saw in Englebright immediately following the incident. It's still justifies an ongoing emergency, and what this agenda item does is allows us to take advantage of the emergency contracting authority primarily.
Thank you. Any questions from the public on that? Questions from the board?
Yes. Through the chair. There are 2 items that they need to let them know when they make that phone call to the ambulance society. How many people are up there and any known injuries? Because they didn't give that information when they called it in. There's just 2 basic things, especially the long drive like that. If you need more ambulances, it's better to start more than less.
Okay, thanks, Sandy. Any other comment or questions from the board?
Move to approve.
Okay, and I forgot to read this in the beginning, so we're clear on what we're approving. This is a review of emergency contracting actions concerning the Colgate penstock incident and board determination that there is a need to continue the emergency action under Public Contract Code Section 22050, Subdivision C2. And we have a motion and a second. We need a roll call vote.
Director Bishop,
Yes.
Director Bradford,
Yes.
Yes.
Director Vasquez,
Yes.
Director Fuhrer,
Yes.
Director Messick,
Yes.
Director House,
Yes.
And Director Matthews?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, item 3 is a discussion item. Is consider waiving the annual 2.5% rate increase associated with surface water deliveries to the member units as provided in Section 7 of the Member Unit Water Supply Agreements and Chapter 84 of the Yuba County Water Agency Act. And Ryan McNally is going to talk about that.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Ryan McNally, your Director of Water Resources and Flood Risk. As you're all well aware, one of our primary mission objectives at Yuba Water is to provide surface water for our agricultural interest in Yuba County, and that's served through our 8 member units, our 8 irrigation districts that contract with us, 3 of which have sovereign water rights. The rest rely solely on project-based water, which is water purchased from us, but all 8 actually buy water, so there's a mix of it. But those allocations, those deliveries are managed through an agreement that was negotiated in 2016. It's our water supply agreement. And within that agreement is a provision that allows for the board to have discretion to waive the annual 2.5% increase. That 2.5% increase would come up to about 9 cents per acre foot. And they're asking for a waiver or for consideration of a waiver this year based not necessarily on power generation revenues, but more over the fact that we're going to come up short on our ability to deliver surface water this year due to the penstock and the low-level outlet. And it's easy to see that those pumping costs for local supply to make up those shortages are going to exceed this increase. So staff supports this recommendation, and so we're asking the board to consider the same thing that we've done virtually every year in the past. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any board discussion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, before we have a vote, is there any public comment? I have a motion and a second, and we need a roll call vote again, I think.
Director Bishop?
Yes.
Director Bradford?
Yes.
Director Vasquez? Director Furier?
Yes.
Director Messick?
Yes.
Director House?
Yes.
Director Matthews?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Willie, we're ready for the manager's report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's great to see member units in support of that agenda item. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to speak, but it's great to see you guys today. Things are relatively quiet on the operations side. New Bullard's Bar is about 24 feet below full. We're drafting 1,250 cubic feet per second out of the low-level outlet, like we talked about. That's what may cause or might have caused some shortages to our member units, but we will continue to deliver that capacity through the irrigation season. We are looking at seeing about 105% of normal storage year to date and 74% of normal inflow year to date. I suspect the capacity, or the 105%, being above normal is due to that limited release capacity. We are seeing, as I've reported in the past, significant likelihood of being in an El Nino year, but I've also discussed that doesn't mean it's going to be wet or dry this season. It's just an anomalous situation in the Eastern Pacific, which causes different weather patterns in the Western United States. We will see what this winter brings. I did speak a little bit about erosion and hill slope stability in agenda item 2. That is a priority for the agency to get that hill slope stabilized before the winter, no matter what hydrologic conditions we have. As far as operations and maintenance throughout the project, we're in recreation season. The water treatment plant is operating. All our rec facilities are operating. As far as Colgate plant restoration goes, we do have what we call the OEM manufacturers transformer testing happening starting tomorrow. We have tested our transformers at Colgate units 1 and 2, and based on our initial tests, they appear to be good, but we're going to get the original equipment manufacturer out to do their specific range of tests to prove that those transformers are good. And then we'll move on to testing the breakers. The reason I bring those specific pieces of equipment up is they are long lead time items. So if there was something wrong with them, we would want to get parts and pieces or new equipment ordered quickly. But all indications are both the transformers and breakers are likely in usable condition. The team keeps working on all the subsystems at Colgate Powerhouse, testing governors and circuits and cooling water sumps and all the different subsystems in the powerhouse. We had a milestone late last week where Nordic, who has been working on both the Lake Francis access road and the sediment removal, dug out the tail race proper, or the actual portion of the powerhouse where water is discharged from the powerhouse into the river. That whole area basically under the Pelton wheels is now clean, and we are able to install the tail race gates. That's a big milestone. Not necessarily a lot of quantity of excavation, but difficult excavation because of water intrusion and keeping the river on the south side of the channel, and keeping the area dry from water intrusion. But that is done, and now they're moving on to just continued removal of sediment adjacent to the powerhouse. So things are going well there. There's a kind of a detailed summary of each emergency action item in your hard copy report. I'm not going to go over those. The condition of Lake Francis Road, the conditions of the hill slope stability, and what we're doing to contract that out. You can read that. But two items I will pull out of the engineering update are our annual dam safety inspections on June 15th and 16th. Well, June 15th, we had both FERC and California Division of Safety of Dams out for our annual dam safety inspections. And then on the 16th, it was just FERC. Just to conclude the findings, they don't give you an A+ rating down to an F rating. They just give you satisfactory or non-satisfactory. We were satisfactory, and generally I will report that things went very well with our dam safety inspections as usual. And I will thank our Chief Dam Safety Engineer, Tim Trung, and his deputy, Brian Parent, for their continued management of that program. It's always nice, especially when you're in a significant incident like we're in right now, to not have a bunch of other issues coming up. So thanks to Tim and Brian for that. Both Narrows 1 and Narrows 2 and the mini hydro generators are online and performing normally. And on to communications. Chico's Action News Now shared our video about the penstock incident and its impacts. KCRA 3 turned that same video into a story. ABC 10 and CBS 13 covered the information about our sediment removal and the potential for increased turbidity. The Union in Nevada City had a story from Circle announcing the start of the Upper Longbar Habitat Restoration Project, one of the projects we partner with them on and helped fund. CBS 13, the Sacramento Bee, and potentially the Appeal Democrat, we were thinking the Appeal would have an article today, but we haven't seen it yet, are covering a recent lawsuit related to the incident. In community relations, I gave a presentation to the South Yuba Sunrise Rotary Club about the penstock incident and recovery, and Alex presented to a group of Yuba College interns in the Watershed Resilience Program talking about our watershed health efforts. Our next board meeting is scheduled for July 21st, and we will also have a Yuba Water Construction Authority meeting that same day. That's all I have.
Thanks, Willie. Start with director's comments. John, would you like to start?
No, I want to go last because I'm trying to look something up, but I'll just wing it. I wanted to thank the staff for allowing us to have a short film up at the Power Systems headquarters. I believe it's July 15th at 6 p.m. Maybe you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the right time? Okay. So the RCD board is sponsoring this. They're going to be showing a short film on forest management and fire safety. And I read on Facebook the other day that I'm one of the guest speakers, so I'll be there. Yeah, it's on my calendar, but I just couldn't find it immediately. So that's it. We had the fair. Rennick, did you stay and do the awards and things with the kids for Yuba Water Agency? So thanks again for sponsoring. I did not make it Saturday or Sunday for that. So that's about it.
Thanks, John. Gary?
I don't have anything today.
Okay. Andy? Rennick?
Yes, thanks again for committing before the Penstock incident to sponsoring the fair. It's important to our kids to know that we support them. I'll just give you kind of an example. A lot of people at the fair who sponsor awards try to get photos with their kids, and it's like chasing cats. Like there's no way to find them. But when we made the announcement to please meet at the photo backdrop for any kids that were sponsored by Yuba Water, they were all there, and they were, and the awards we sponsored were like the important ones too. So it's kind of nice. So I did not get a release of liability or release of photo release for each kid, but I wasn't provided. But the fair says they have one electronically signed that anybody in the community can borrow. But again, it was great to have all those awards given out. I think we sponsored buckles, banners, and ice chests or coolers. So a lot of different prizes for the different award recipients. Next week, I'm going to NACO, which is the National Association of Counties, and I'm a representative there on a couple of committees. One of them's the Housing and Economic Development Committee, so it helps bring funds to our local government. One of the things I got to work on last year was an amendment that got included in the housing bill that included funding for CTE education, expanding the funding source, not just expanding what it covers. So I feel like it's a pretty good endeavor to be able to be part of it. This year, I'm getting to go on a tour of Army Corps of Engineers enclosure dam around, what is it called, New Orleans, part of the major flood prevention they have there, including a bunch of levee tours and how they manage pests in the levees and things like that, which are important to me here. But I'm going as a county supervisor, not as a water board member, but just thought I'd share that info. And then just wanted to say thank you to everybody that came out to support the kids during the fair. And last week the last 2 weeks we've been hosting in Marysville the Little League 8 to 10-year-old All-Stars, and there's been a lot of folks from the water agency. Their kids are out there playing, and there's some at Oliver's Linda too, so there must be a bunch of athletes. Yuba Water kids are all athletes, I guess, but it was nice seeing everybody, and just thank you for all you're doing. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rennick. Seth, nothing. Charlie.
In and out your report.
Okay, and the only thing I have is I wanted to recognize Rich Webb, who's out there in the audience and has been there a lot and recently won an election to join us up here in January. So congratulations, Rich, and appreciate all the homework you've done already to be prepared to join the board. And with that, we will move to closed sessions, which we expect to be lengthy today. I need a motion to adjourn. Well, what did I do? Did I skip something entirely? I didn't turn the page. Okay, we need a motion to adjourn the current meeting and continue it at 9, when we get over to the water agency office.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Or do we need a roll call on that, Mandy? Or yeah, okay. Roll call.
Director Bishop,
Yes.
Director Bradford,
Yes.
Director Vasquez, Director Furrier,
Yes.
Director Messick,
Yes.
Director House,
Yes.
Director Matthews.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we will adjourn this part of the meeting.
Government watch, you can support or sponsor. Help keep the community aware with Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.